going to cover how to create graph templates and utilize them for future projects. So the first thing I'm going to do is open up a project here. And we'll just select this. I'm going to graph my 3 voltages. And I'm going to click on Graph Using Assistant here. And you can walk through each of these steps, but what I plan on doing for this is I'm going to graph them all together, and I'm going to click on Finish here. And so this is a residential service. It was done with the Ranger PM 2000. And so we have 2 phases of 120 volts, L1 and L2. Then we have our line-to-line voltage at 240 here. So I'm going to do some graph manipulation and change some things around. And then I'm going to utilize that on a future project or a different project database that I've already created. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this line-to-line voltage. And you can see how noisy this is right here. Well, it's because it's running from 119 volts to 126 volts. But we can correct that, or if I plan on giving it to a customer, perhaps I might want to put the reference of the minimum to 0 here, so it looks nice and clean. And maybe I want to change my colors a little bit here. So if I click on one of the trace statistics for one of the traces, I can come in here and change my colors and styles. And I'm going to change this to black. And then I'm going to change this one to, well, I can use set all trace colors here. And I'm going to change this one to red. And so now I have my L1 in black, my L2 in red. Maybe those are the colors I want to see here. And then I'm just going to save it as a graph template. So I can click up here under File and Save as Template. And I can give it a name, Residential L1, L2 voltages, black and red traces, reference 0 volts. You can give it a name. I think you have 255 characters that you can create a name. You can put descriptions in here if you'd like, and I'll just click on Save. So now we have our graph template saved. So if I want to open up a different project, or let's say I have a different recorder and I download it, and maybe this time I might have a Ranger PM 7000. At this point, if I want to utilize that graph template, I can click on Graph Using Template, and there's the graph template I have just created. And if I click on, well, I want to show you here, it shows the recorded data streams. If I click on Create this view, it then comes up and it says, hey, the template that you selected has L1 and L2, but that's not what was actually recorded. So in this project, I'm going to assign the RMS of VAN to be L1, and I can click on that. You can see it changes it here. And then I'm going to assign the RMS of VBN to be L2. And now if I click OK, it now demonstrates and shows you the recording that I opened up, the second recording in the second project. And it shows you that data in the graph format that I wanted to see it in. So it's referenced to 0, and my black trace is VAN, and my red trace is VBN. So that's one way to utilize graph templates to display information the way you may want to present it to your customer, or that you might want to see it for analysis. And this concludes our tutorial on graph templates. Thank you.